All right, freshmen, today we are going to take a look at citing our sources, creating a works cited page, and identifying what our in-text citation for each source is going to be. The in-text citation is so that you can give the proper credit within the context of your paragraphs. So when you include information from a source, you want to have the in-text citation right there in the paragraph, and then I know as the reader to look for that citation down in its complete form on your works cited page. So we're just kind of connecting the puzzle pieces for our reader and making sure that we're giving credit to the sources that we're using information from. So you'll see here that I'm starting on the eLibrary website. I've already got it switched to the high school tab, and I'm going to use my favorite. You guys know what my favorite is so far. It's the Gale in Context High School. So I'm going to go in there. And I'm already thinking, I'm going to write about my topic, which is Zora Neale Hurston. And so immediately when this loads, I'm going to type her name. And all of these search skills we've done in a different video, so I'm not going to go too in depth while I'm talking to you here. But in here, I'm going to grab my first source that I'm using, which is from UXL Biographies. And you'll notice on this page, and I know a lot of you are using Gale in Context, which is great, so it means that you're kind of following what we've been doing in class. But just on this main page here, what I'm going to want to use is this button, kind of this upper middle part of my screen that says Cite. You see it says Cite, Send to, Download, Print. I want to use the Cite button. This is a really cool tool because it gives me the entire complete citation that I need. And all I have to do is I can either select and copy it with my cursor. I can click on that, or I can just hit the select button and it'll highlight that all for me and I can hit copy. Okay. This is when I want to come back over to my Google Drive that I already have open here. I'm going to go into my English 9 folder, into my research paper folder, and I already have a works cited going. If I didn't, I would want to go to this plus sign in the lower right hand corner of my screen. And I would want to create a new Google Doc where I would keep all of my sources for the time being. This is going to end up being the last page of my final draft. But for right now, I'm going to keep it on its separate page just so I have my pieces of my essay all organized. So here, I'm going to go ahead and edit this. This isn't a citation that I need for this. Should have cleared this out before. That's a citation we made in the library. Okay, so I want to make sure that I'm aligned to the left here. I'm going to paste that citation, and it should, if I already have my formatting set up, automatically double space Times New Roman size 12 font. I am noticing, though, that one of these things needs to be italicized. That it missed that formatting part, so I'm going to go back and I'm going to double check and compare my citation on the Gale website to the citation as it's pasted, because sometimes formatting things get lost here. So I'm going to go back here, click on Cite one more time, and have that pull up. So I'm seeing here that after the title Zora Neale Hurston, it looks like UXL Biographies gets italicized, and so does Gale in Context High School. And these things matter because they are the formatting guidelines that we need to follow to make sure that we're doing this in the proper way. So I'm going to go and highlight that and italicize that. I'm going to do that again over here. And then my citation will be pretty much good to go. The one thing I have left to do is create a hanging indent where every line except the first line of each citation is going to be indented. It's the opposite of how we do a paragraph. So here I can hit return, and then I'm just going to tab that over using this upper right-hand key on my toolbar. So that'll indent everything after the first line, and then I can hit return and shift it back out and put my next citation in there. So I'm going to come back over here. I'm going to get out of this. And let's grab a different source here, just so you can see what it would look like with one that has an author. So this one appears, you'll see that it's got some editor names here. So when I click Cite, just kidding. Let me get all the way back out of here. This is what the research process is like here. So sometimes you've got to you've got to shift depending on what your needs are here. Okay, so I'm going to go over here and let's pretend I'm using this article because it has an author. So I'm going to hit Cite like I did last time, and I'm going to select and copy this citation. You want to make sure that it is on that MLA 8th edition. That's the default for these. I think because the database knows how many English papers it's used for. And so you'll see again, I'm going to have to fix some of this formatting issues. It tends to be the just the italics that get messed up. So make sure that everything is italicized that needs to be within your citation. And then once again, I'm going to make my hanging indent here. Okay. So when I'm looking at my Works Cited page, I want to make sure that all of my sources are alphabetized. And you might say, Mrs. Pedig, this is not alphabetized. The Z is in front of the M, and Z I know is at the end of the alphabet. It goes alphabetical first by those entries that you have that don't have an author. So you'll see my first citation, I don't have an author. Sorry about that. I just have the title of the article. And then I alphabetize by citations with an author. So you'll see that's why Miller comes after that. Okay. So that's what I've got so far for my citations. I'll add a third one because you guys need a minimum of 3. For my in-text citations, though, I'm looking at what I want is going to be the last name of the author of any entries that have authors. So for this citation here, the Miller one, I'm just going to put Miller in parentheses anytime that I use information from this source. For this one, since I don't have an author, I'm going to go to my title of the article, which is Zora Neale Hurston. Now, I know a number of you have several article titles that are the same, right? They're just the name of your person. So if I have multiple that are titled Zora Neale Hurston without an author, I would then go to the publication, which in my case is UXL Biographies for this one, and if I had another one, maybe it's from Time Biographies or whatever. That's what I'm going to put in parentheses for my in-text citation. So what it ends up looking like in the context of my essay it's going to look like this. You see how it says Ali Prandini in the parentheses after I have a quotation from his article. I've paraphrased here where it says Zora Neale Hurston in parentheses. So because I've paraphrased, but I've used information, again, that is not mine, I didn't come up with it, that's why I'm going to give in-text citation credit again. Okay. If you watch the Anatomy of an Essay video, I broke down the how to write a topic sentence, how to include support from a source, and how to explain that. So I'm looking for at least one in-text citation in each of my paragraphs, if not multiple. See, just right here you can see that there's 2. There's this Ashby and Orne, and there's this Zora Neale Hurston one. So anytime you're using information from a source that is not yours, you can't just share it. You've got to also give that credit. And as was covered in the Anatomy of an Essay video as well, we're connecting these back to our Works Cited page. So then my Works Cited is down here on the bottom, and I'm going to enter my print preview so that you can see the proper, you can see the proper formatting here. So I've got Ashby and Orne or Zora Neale Hurston. So me as a reader, oh my gosh, this video is just full of surprises for you guys. As a reader, I can go back down then. I know Ashby and Orne, I'm going to go and take a look at my Works Cited page, and Ashby and Orne is down at the bottom of my list of citations here. So that's going to be one of the first things that I do when I'm reading your essays is I'm going to look for your citations and I'm going to match them to your Works Cited page. I'm going to make sure that that all 3 of these citations are used, all 3 of these sources are actually used within the context of your essay. And if they're on your Works Cited but not used in the context of your essay, I'm going to start having questions. If you are using something in your essay that's not cited at all, and it's not on your Works Cited page, I'm going to have questions, even further. So we want to make sure that we're matching everything, giving everything its proper credit. Okay, if you have any lingering questions about any of this, please, please, please let me know, because this is a very important part of writing an essay of this nature, of including research from our research days, including information from our sources, and we want to make sure that we give that proper credit. And this is going to be a skill that you carry on through the rest of high school. So we want to make sure that we master this earlier on, so it's easier for you as you go through 10th grade, 11th grade, 12th grade. So with that said, let me know if you've got any questions as we continue drafting and we continue to edit these essays until they are submitted in a couple weeks. Have a wonderful rest of your day.